here's a quick walkthrough of that B minor pentatonic lick. We're gonna start on the 19th fret of the high E string. And if you find this very confusing, you can find the details on how to get the tabs in the description. So just check that out if you need the tabs. Otherwise, just follow along here and hopefully you'll be A-okay anyway. So we start on the 19th fret of the high E string. And the initial part of the lick is just gonna be these groups of 4 going down on the E and B strings. So I'm just gonna play that slowly first. Until we get to this position, which is a sort of day 1 pentatonic position. So again, from the beginning, we start on 19, 19, 17, 19, 17, 17, 14, 17, 15, 14, 12, 15, 12, 12, 10, 12, 10, and then we're here, like I said. And from this point, we're gonna use this Eric Johnson-esque descending 6s. So we're gonna go down 6 notes. Restart on the previous string. And then from here, we're gonna go down all the way down to the root note. We're also gonna add the 2nd note of the scale. Because that will enable us to land on the beat. Because we have this in between. If we just went, we would not land on the beat. Plus, I love adding this note. It's a really good addition to the pentatonic anyway. Yes, I played a lick there. Sorry, won't happen again. Okay, so. And we'll put it all together. And if you want to practice this in a good way, I would just play it slowly from the beginning, learn the whole thing, and then use a metronome and just chuck the metronome up in quite big chunks, meaning maybe 5 or 10 BPMs at a time, and then find out where it starts to break down. So I play this in 16th notes, so let's say you start here first, so you go. If that works, you chunk it up maybe 5 or 10. So I'm just gonna, sort of eyeball it now, or earball it. So and let's say you do it even faster, and then you manage to get through this thing, but then somehow you screw up this last part. Then that's where you should start practicing, because you don't need to practice the whole thing, especially when it's a long lick like this. Instead, focus on the actual problem areas. And that's where I think a metronome can be really helpful, because you can get a really honest sort of evaluation where you're at in a certain lick. So that's a good idea to do that. But then I would just find the problem area and then make that into a separate exercise. And that one I would play very slowly, but focusing on that transition speed I've been talking about in videos before. I can link that in the description as well, so you can check that out. But basically it just means that you do fast transitions while playing slowly. So you go. So you can see I'm almost moving mechanically here. Whereas if I would slow everything down, even the motion between the notes, it would be more like. And that's not going to be very helpful at all. So that's what I would do. So I would make whatever problem area I find, I would make that into a repeating exercise. That's the best way, I think. Sometimes it's hard to do that, to make it make sense, and then it's fine to just have a small gap in between each rep. And then I would work on that all over the fretboard, so not just in this key. So that's very important. And I keep saying this in a lot of videos. And it's not because I have a lack of things to say. It's more that it's such an important concept to make sure that you work on things all over the fretboard. Because otherwise you might end up with a situation where you can do it perfectly down here. You have no issue. But whenever you get up here, for example, it's way harder for you. And the only reason you got into that situation to begin with is because you've been kind of a doofus and only practice at a certain place of the fretboard. And a lot of people get very comfortable here. They just find a place where, like, yeah, I always do this exercise at the 5th fret, and then they keep doing that and are super surprised when they realize that, oh shit, I can't play this stuff up here on the 15th fret or whatever. So don't be that guy or that girl. And any questions, you know where to post it. Hopefully it's just down below here, and I'll try to help you out as soon as possible. Otherwise, have a good one and see you in the next lesson.